Okay, so this is the core of the 2004 four-wheel drive 4L80E. It still has the rear four-wheel drive uh, tail housing on it. So this might be the puppy going back in there. You can see what it is. And I'm cleaning it up really good. This is the clean side. And this is what it looked like before I cleaned it. But I'm thinking about making one transmission out of two. And even though they're different years and different, what do you call it, styles, or this is a cooling in the front and the rear, with the rear cooling, which I like this feature. The thing is, I'm going to have to mix and match components to make this work. Anyway, I'm going to finish cleaning this up and get it prepped, and then I'm going to get the rest of the pieces out of the 95, which is still sitting here because I have to find that sprag. I just left it alone for a while so I could cool off. Anyway, I'll be back. So the intermediate shaft doesn't look so bad. All the gears look good. The bushings even look good. There is a little bit, I don't know if you'll be able to see this that well because the focus on this, see, there's a little bit of wear around the, you see that? I hope you can see that. You see the wear around the splines of the gear? Not too bad, but it's definitely noticeable. But the bushings look good on this component, so we're going to go in deeper. So the beveled gear wasn't installed correctly. You see all this rubbing here? They had this hanging into the opening in the transmission where there's no place for the ring to sit in. And everybody I've watched has mounted these things to where the opening is inside the tangs so that this flap doesn't have the chance to just wiggle and wobble inside the transmission. Anyway, just you see the heavy wear here where it was actually wobbling around inside the transmission. We are wearing it out. I hope you guys can see that. But yeah, when you put these things in the wrong area where they're able to just flap around loosely, something's going to happen at some point. And obviously, a lot of things happen in this transmission. I'm hoping the back end isn't as bad as the front end. Well, thank God for this. Here's the rear sprag. And it's one of the ones to standoffs. I thought this is a later model. This sprag may have been changed out. I don't know. But it looks good to me. The bushing in here looks a little bit worn, but no real gouging or nothing, just like good spinning. Very uniform spinning also. No wobbling looks. Just a little bit of wear, not too bad at all. So this is promising. And all the planetary gears, I don't want to turn it back upside down because I don't want the sprag to fall back out again. All the planetary gears look okay, but they have this uniform gouge around them. I don't know if that's something normal. We're going to find out when I get the back end of this out. But the lighting sucks, but this all looks good. The race is nice and smooth and fresh. Everything looks good here. The bearings, the roller bearings are good. The bearings look good. The other piece is stuck inside there with oil, but it all looks good. It feels good, smooth. There's no real funny wear on the thrust washer. It actually looks good. All the Teflon rings all look good, although I'm going to replace them anyway. there. Actually, this one looks like crap. So we'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. Everything else looks pretty good. I'm not going to pull this too far apart, just inspection. There you go. There's the other half of the bearing race. And that all looks good. So, onward into the next part. I'll take this half as a victory so far. The back half of this transmission is good. I'll just replace the front planetary assembly from the 2004 and put it in my 95, and I'll roll with that. Onward, inward, deeper into the transmission we go. Now the rear sun gear looks good, but it's got this gouge going around the center too. I don't know if these are like there for a reason to let fluid pass through while it's spinning. I don't know, but it looks good. All the teeth look good. There's no real bad wear. You know, the back end of it looks exceptionally good. So I'm going to say we're still winning with this back end. So let's check the rest. Well, the rear sprag is, doing sprag things, turning one way and not the other. I can't do it with one hand, but I just tested it. It's all moving correctly. So far, happy goes the tear apart. Last piece is actually out. I'm going to check this now. And if the back of the transmission is okay, it's time to start replacing all the washers and grommets and rubber O-rings and all that good stuff, and clutch plates and steels, and getting it back together so I can drive again. Well, nothing in the back of the transmission looks bad. Bushings are good. All the bearing races look good. This thing is discolored from heat, but not enough to where it actually took the paint off of it. So I don't know. And I don't know if I can hold this, but this is one of the good ones, right? If they ring, they're supposedly good. Anyway, everything looks good here. All the gears look good. They got that same two grooves in all the gears, the planetary gears. So I guess that's the way these things are designed, to let the transmission fluid flow. But this all looks good. I'm good with the back of this transmission. I'm going to start looking at what parts are going to go back in and start measuring stuff, so I know what shims, if any, I'm going to use. And all my I still got to measure all of my plates and clutches to see where I'm going to be at in tolerances and backlash, the rear end play, and all that good stuff. Anyway, it's a part. I have not looked inside the case or cleaned inside the case yet, but that's coming next, and that's going to make my final decision as to which case I use for this. It's probably going to be the 95, because that's what came in it, and all the parts except for the front planetary assembly have checked out. So I am going to most likely put this back together as a whole unit, with the planetary out of the 2004 being my overdrive planetary. So wish me luck. Here we go, Franken mission going back together, and I will make videos as I put everything back together. Well, with the rear all completely taken apart and all fully inspected, I just got to replace the sealing rings. Looks like somebody drilled an extra hole in there for more fluid to pass through. But all the bushings look good in here. The thrust washer and the back washer all look good. This was in really, really loose. This is that middle locking ring, and it looks like it was getting some funny wear from dancing around there. So who knows what was going on inside this transmission. I'm going to put it all back together, the way you guys all taught me. Richard at Precision Transmission, and Nick at Nick's Transmission, and I think it's Jaime at Automatic Transmission. these guys have all been great and shown me a whole bunch of crap, and I kind of actually know what I'm doing now, which is ridiculous. The only thing I couldn't get out was the band, but the band looks good, and I'm going to get it out and clean it up anyway. I got to clean out the inside. Look, I got dirt all inside this anyway. I do not work this dirty, but I'm working parking lots here, out in the wide open spaces. You see, so there's no shop. There's my foam pad and me in the ground. So anyway, I'll be back, and it'll be going back together bright and early in the morning. Wish me luck, because I think I'm gonna need it. Although I know what I'm doing and I know what has to be done, this ought to be a fun build. But it's scary when you're not sure what's going to happen when you put it all back together. Anyway, if I put it back together right, it should work right? So good luck, good luck, good luck. So not finish the day off, I did get the reverse band out. And it's funny how you've got these crazy grind patterns here. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but I do know one thing. Where the main contact point is here, where the pin pushes in, the material is all shredded off the inside. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see, all the material's gone. All the friction material's gone there. And as you go around it, you see it's burned over here, and it's discolored on the other side also. Yeah, you see how it's varnished. It looks like a bad brake shoe. Anyway, I got a brand new one, so it's going to be going together with new bands and all new frictions and steels and all new sealing rings wherever I need them. That one back there for the rear seal. The four right here. I'll be changing everything I can change. This back end of the unit made me really happy now, because now I don't have to use the 2004 housing. I'll use the 1995, put it all back together the way it was. The measurements should all be good in the back end, so I'm just going to slip that back in and then check my rear play when it's all back in and locked with the ring, and see where I can go from there. And then the front side, it's just going to be all the new clutch plates and steels, and then taking the whole front planetary, the overdrive planetary, out of the 2005 and installing it into this 1995 casing, with the outer 95 piston. Hopefully that all fits together and works together. If not, I could throw the whole 2005 front thing in here if it fits right. So either way, it's now a Franken mission. It's rear end 1995, front end 2004, and hopefully altogether it will be happy and get me back on the road. So until next time, when it's going back together, have a good day, and may the force be with you.